What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today, look, we've got something a little bit different. This just randomly popped up in my recommended. Of course, I've reacted to a bunch of videos, pretty similar to this, about the entire world, like every country. But now, I guess I'll focus on my own country for today's video. We've got, how is Australia so rich? Now, I didn't think we were so rich as a country. To be honest, I don't know a lot. As an Australian, I'm just grateful to live here, and I'm just grateful that I have a roof over my head and food to eat every night. So that's, I don't even know what I'm saying. Let's just get into it. I'll edit that out.
0.32%. That is the total population of the planet that lives in Australia.
That's me!
Around 26 million inhabitants.
Only 25 million people. Isn't there like 40 million people that live in Mumbai? Or so, like, even in Japan, there's like double that in one city, and that's our entire country. Yep, not many people, I guess.
The most populated country in the world. A gigantic country that itself is a continent located down under. It is rather secluded and thousands of kilometers away from any other major civilization.
Hey, well, that's technically, New Zealand is right there. So let's not disrespect.
It has the 13th largest economy on the planet, and Australians find themselves as being the 20th richest on Earth in terms of GDP per capita. So just how is Australia
Top 20
so wealthy? I'm your host Sam, and you're watching the Geography Bible.
Hey, shout out to the Geography Bible. Original link in the description. Go and subscribe to them.
First of all, let's
get around
take some in-depth look at Australia's financial statistics.
Where the hell is that?
As mentioned earlier, they have the 13th largest economy on the planet, with a GDP of around 1.6 trillion US dollars, putting them above Spain and just below Brazil, a country with over 8 times the population and surrounded by many other countries. Australia's GDP per capita for purchasing power is just shy of 55,000 US dollars,
I don't know if that's a lot.
which works out to roughly 77,000 Aussie dollars, placing them above the likes of Canada, the UK and France, but just below Germany, Sweden and Austria. And finally, Australia ranks as having the 8th highest average salary in the world.
Really?
So some very impressive stats for a country where 90% of people live in just 3% of its land. So first things first, Australia is incredibly rich in minerals.
Yeah.
There is such an abundance of minerals.
Yeah, and now that we think that, like, with this mining stuff all the time, well, actually, I want to go back on. Yeah, because one moment, let me get to the right part. So people live in these areas, like on the coast, obviously where the water is, the beaches. Obviously, in some parts of Australia, like up here, there's no beach whatsoever because it's boiling hot. But yeah, I mean, no one lives because all of this in the middle is essentially just desert and not water, but just desert. So I mean, it does make sense. This is, I'm around here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, this is Victoria. I'm in here somewhere. I don't know whereabouts, but
live in just 3% of its land. So first things first, Australia is incredibly rich in minerals.
Oh, just what I was going to say, last pause of the video, but there is literally you ask every 1 in 5 men, I swear, have worked in a mine or do something for a mine. It is like the most popular job you can almost get here in Australia.
There is such an abundance of minerals that it not only meets its internal needs, but it also covers the needs of many other countries around the world, meaning it can export these precious commodities in exchange for dollars. In 2020, Australia was the largest producer of lithium. You might have heard of this compound. It is used in batteries. And in case you haven't noticed, batteries are extremely important in today's digital age, especially with the gigantic boom in electric cars. Therefore,
bro, if you think I can afford an electric car, a Tesla, bro, these things cost like $200,000. I can't afford a Tesla.
Australia is capitalizing.
Who do you think we are watching this?
Especially in China, where 41% of all electric vehicles were purchased in 2020.
Really?
Australia is also the largest aluminium and opal producer in the world, and the 3rd largest producer of diamonds. Another export that helps to propel Australia to the top of the rich list is food. And its food industry is almost entirely based on local produce.
Let's go!
As Australia is not short of space, it has vast areas of the country occupied by cereal crops.
Yeah.
Because Australia is just so darn big, it has many different climates and can grow different fruits and vegetables that are typically found in different climate zones around the world. In the north, you have rainforest conditions.
Yep, so this, like in Queensland, you know, that's where you get all the pineapples and the... What else grows in a rainforest? Berries, bananas, I guess. Like, but then, you know, my way, in Victoria way, like this, you know, if I just drive on the road, I'm going to see most of this, like on the side. If there's not houses, it's either just a big paddock of grass or it's just a big paddock of corn, bloody olives, wombats. I mean, everything's growing in the ground. So.
In the north, you have rainforest conditions. In the centre, you have desert.
Yeah,
and then far down into Tasmania, you have temperate climates, which are more like that of the UK's. Also, Australia is one of the countries with the largest herds of livestock around the world. Yeah. The number of sheep in the country is the second largest in the world, only behind China.
Really? Wait, how did China have more sheep than us? We're going to have to do some research into that.
Only Brazil beats the Aussies. Australia's total export value is just shy of $500 billion.
What?
China, Japan, and South Korea, 3 other major economies, being their biggest trading partners.
Wait,
Australia
300 billion?
ranks as being the 8th highest country on the Human Development Index.
Is that good?
The index considers the health, education, and income in a given...
Well, let's have a look. So Norway is the most... you know, successful country. Is this what this is meaning? So life expectancy, 82? Damn, that's a long time to live. Average expected years of schooling and means year of schooling. So, all right, Norway, Ireland. That's surprising. Switzerland, Hong Kong, Iceland, Germany, Sweden, Australia, Netherlands, and Denmark. So... we've got a lot of these like Norway, Switzerland, Iceland, Sweden, Netherlands, Denmark. Those are all like really cold countries. I think the cold's best for you. That's my opinion as well. So.
To provide a measure of human development, which is comparable...
Wait. Did you... wait. Expected years of schooling. Wait, where's Australia? 22? We've got the longest school program in the world. 22. Oh, hell no, not me.
And over time. Scoring high in this index usually means that the country is in a great place in terms of finance, society, education, and quality of life. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, but when a country excels in all of these sectors, it usually translates to a strong and healthy economy. A country with poor education, working standards, civil war, and unrest will be very unlikely to have a booming economy with wealthy citizens. For example, the DR Congo is one of the most naturally rich countries on Earth, has a population of around 90 million, and a super young populace of around 17 years on average. Yet, it is one of the most corrupt and poor nations on Earth, with an economy of just $50 billion.
Damn, that's low key. So that's like $1 to every person. That is crazy. We're the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I don't know where that is, but all right, I guess I won't be going there.
Corrupt and poor nations.
Shout out to the people of Congo.
With an economy of just $50 billion.
That's like,
Australia's
$1.
relative peace has also helped to maintain its strong economy and position. Over the last century, Europe has been annihilated flat twice. South America and Africa wrecked by civil wars and coups, and Asia all of the above. Australia and North America as well have been pretty much untouched, and so are wealthy. This isn't to say that Australia hasn't invested and been involved with wars, but there has certainly been no air raid blitzes over the Sydney Opera House. Its immigration policy is another factor that plays an important role to its wealth. Unlike other countries that have immigration policy aimed at greater cultural and ethnic diversity and to attract younger workers to help stimulate their economy due to an aging population, Australia concentrates on bringing in highly skilled and needed workers as opposed to just anyone. For example, if Australia starts to find that they have a shortage of doctors, engineers and teachers, they will slacken their immigration rules to allow more of these highly skilled workers to enter. Australia's education system is one of the best in the world. It is modern and high.
Hey, he just said that it was modern. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, you might not know my backstory with certain things, but I don't know, school just was not, like, especially high school, it was just not for me. But I hated it. I thought, I'm not going to get into it, but it was like being in school during the 1920s. Like, that's how it felt. It felt like nothing had changed. We're still learning the same things that they taught people 100 years ago. I can't think of one thing that I learnt, like, during high school, like other than social skills and maybe the basic mathematics and English. That's all I did. Like, yeah, I'm not going to get into it. We'll leave that for another video.
Highly regarded. Therefore, many
our schooling
international
system.
Students who, of course, have wealthy families may
See,
apply.
and again, that was not me. Look, I just, I come from a regular general family. That, I went to a public school, obviously, but this is a big problem, in my opinion, in Australia, is all of these private schools. It's literally, if your family has money, you're going to get the best, greatest education. You're going to get away with so much stuff. You're going to live pretty luxurious. And you're going to get an instant job if you get sent to school for 4 years. Yeah, it is. And a lot of people who are sportsmen in this, or sportswomen in this country, normally come from private schools. So they get first in best dress to like play for the national teams and stuff like that. It's wrong, to be honest.
Study in Australia. These then already wealthy students may go on to secure high-paying jobs and further boost the Australian economy. Pre-pandemic.
Yep, but the people like me who went to a public school, most of us, we got to find our way through.
Australia
we have
was
to
a
just
dream
find
destination. Travellers from all across the
tourism.
globe, including myself, would flock to the land down under to see its many incredible attractions and soak in its gorgeous sunshine. Cosmopolitan cities, national parks, architectural landmarks, beaches and amazing weather. It's no surprise that in 2019, Australia's income from tourism was around $42 billion.
Damn!
About 3.2% of its GDP, the seventh highest in the world. From the Sydney Opera House to Ayers Rock to the Great Barrier Reef, Australia has some of the world's most fascinating landmarks and attractions. Australia's booming housing market is great for bringing in money to the country on taxes due to massive demand of new buildings and homes, but not so great.
Nah, buying a house in Australia is like, well, it might not even be generally Australia, but if you want to live like in one of these, in a major city like Queensland, Victoria, Sydney, or whatever, New South Wales, wherever, if you want to live like bang in the center of the city, I don't know what the prices go for, but you're gonna be paying a lot of money. So, yeah, if you want to be able to live financially stable in this country, just maybe move out of the city. Maybe just give it a little bit out of the city before you... Unless you can afford it, I guess, but...
Great for the everyday Australian
pricey.
Trying to buy a house.
Very
pricey.
Similar
to what I see in London. The mega rich from all across the planet buy properties in cities and countries that are well developed and wealthy. As there is only a finite amount of space in cities like Sydney, Melbourne and Perth, which are all extremely desirable. The cost of housing continues to go up, and more are being built. In the year 2000, the average house in Sydney would set you back around 312,000 Aussie dollars.
Nah, and even that, go back, hold on, what is just shown here, 312,000 to purchase a property, with the number increasing to 575,000. Damn! Yeah, I mean, I was about to say that is probably not even close to what... If you are trying to live in the city, you're paying a bit more than that. You're paying like 700,000 maybe. I guess if you're buying a house. But if you're renting, then obviously it's probably a lot less. But...
dollars. Today, it is more like 1.6 million.
So that's what it is now?
The average...
So that is in the city. And that is no surprise to me. That is Melbourne. Yeah, nah, fuck that.
Chile simply cannot afford this insane amount.
No, we cannot.
However, a billionaire living in China or Japan can buy several houses and rent them out for profit.
Yep.
Just recently, Australia ranked as the second most agile country in the world.
Right, what does that
only
mean?
behind the US. For a country to be agile, it must adapt and respond to whatever obstacles it faces.
Yeah.
To do this, a country needs to be efficient.
Wait, hold on a freaking second. Go back. Because we're not putting up with this list right here. Are you serious? The most agile country in the world is the United States. What? This, like, with all due respect, I can tell who is making this video. I think he is from the US. But, bro, this list is wrong. The USA, with all due respect, has got to be arguably one of the worst wealthy countries to ever live in, ever. Like, they are an absolute shit show at the moment. And they do not adapt to anything. Did you see how they dealt with the C word, the C-O-V? Yeah, they didn't deal with that very well. Their gun laws, they don't deal with that at all. Their recent stuff, which we won't go into, but, bro, hell no. United States are not agile. I would have them almost dead last on the list. Like,
Australia ranked as the second most agile country in the world, only behind the US. For a country to be agile, it must adapt and respond to whatever obstacles it faces.
Bro, the only thing that the USA is agile to is when someone's trying to invade or someone's trying to, come at them in a war. Then the USA is all of a sudden agile. But other than that, they just stick to whatever they know from 1920.
A country needs to be efficient in its actions, adopt and accept modern solutions, and progress to meet changing circumstances. And last but not least, it is important to say a few words about the successful Anglo-Saxon economic model. This is a kind of capitalism that is characterized by some important specifics, especially when it comes to taxes. The Anglo-Saxon model usually means less government interference and less regulations. The private sector dominates, and the private property enjoys a sense.
Wait, hold on. I just need to read. So, okay, so we got all the lads here. All right, okay. Come from common law, which operates. Okay, maybe not.
Although absolutely not perfect, this model has proven to be extremely successful in countries from around the world, such as New Zealand, the UK, the Republic of Ireland, the United States, Canada, and many more.
Yay!
So overall, Australia is a well-developed country that has one of the strongest immigration policies in the world, is a tourist hotspot outside of pandemics, has a booming export and skilled workforce with a vast amount of natural resources, which allows it to be one of the richest countries in the world with a very high quality of life. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you learned something new, feel free to drop it a like, and if you love this sort of content, consider subscribing. You can always unsubscribe at any time.
Hey, shout out to the man right here, the Geography Bible. Go subscribe to him. Get around him. Hey, how's Australia so rich? Well, to be honest, I had no idea if we were at all. I knew that this is a beautiful country, and I'm very grateful to live here. But hey, I only did this video just to kind of learn a little bit more and see what they said. Now, look, not everything is obviously spot on, because I still can't believe that the USA was rated as the #1 agile country in the world. With all due respect, the USA is, how do I put this respectfully? Not it. Not it at all. But hey, if there's any other countries that I should be covering with this sort of model video, I think I've done an Indian version about 40 times. I've done an Australian version now about a couple times. Sort of videos like this with the GDP and all that. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see everyone in the next one.